Welcome to the Cool English Podcast, where I bring you English vocab, culture, pronunciation, and much more.
Hello. Today we're going over some questions, specifically how questions. These can be quite tricky. So we know what, when, where, why, and who, but how we have many different uses. Let's go over some of the more common ones. So the first is distance. If you want to talk about distance, we don't say, how is the distance? We say, how far? Say, how far is the airport? Or how far can you run? How far is Central Park from here? Next, we talk about frequency. I don't say how frequency or what frequency. We tend to say how often, not how often. We kind of don't really say the T very strong. We say how often. How often do you exercise? How often do you drink soda? How often does it rain in your city? Next, quantity. We say how many. How many people are there? How many tickets do you need? How many nights will you stay? So if it's a countable thing, we say how many. Next is age. If you want to ask the age of someone or something, we say how old. How old are you? How old is your son? How old is the car or the church or the house? We have duration, and we say how long. How long is the movie? How long is the class? We also use for past tense. Say, how long have you been married? How long have you lived here? Directions, we use how quite frequently. We can say, how can I get to? And the location, you want the directions to. So how can I get to the airport? Or how can I get to Central Park? How can I get to Fifth Avenue? Speed is common. We might say, how fast? How fast is the internet? We all want fast internet, so we might ask that question. How fast can you get here? I need you to get here quickly. How fast can you type? Another common one is height. We say, how tall? How tall are you? How tall is that building? How tall is your father? Size, we use how a lot. We say, how big? How big is the car? Can 5 people fit in it? How big is the salad? Can I share it? How big is the apartment? Weight is a little tricky. In this one, we say, how much do you weigh? Or how much does he or she or it weigh? So how much do you weigh? How much does the box weigh? Or how much does she weigh? You can say how heavy, or you can ask, how heavy is the box? But it's not very polite to say, how heavy are you? We tend to ask, how much do you weigh? Cost is probably the most common how question. And we just say, how much is, or how much are, depending if it's singular or plural. So how much is the ticket? How much are the pants? How much is the laptop? How much are 2 laptops? And finally, good or bad. And in this one, just how and a verb to be. So how are you? How is your brother? How is the pizza? How was your vacation? Or how was the weather? So those are the most common how questions. And if you can learn them, I promise it'll be easier. Let's check a couple listening. So which how question do you hear?
How tall are you?
5'10".
How tall are you?
5'10".
I think he's asking her, how tall are you? And she says 5'10", meaning 5 feet 10 inches. Or
How fast can you pack?
I think she asked, how fast can you pack? Meaning the velocity you can get your bags ready.
How long do you think it'll take you?
How long do you think it will take you? Meaning the duration of time it's going to take. So as you can see, we use how so much to ask different questions. I might ask the distance of the hotel from the beach. So you'd say, how far is the hotel from the beach? Or maybe you want to know the frequency someone works out. You could say, how often do you work out? If I wanted to know the quantity of tickets you need, I might ask, how many tickets do you need? You want to know the age of the church. What would you ask? How old is the church? Or you want to know the duration of a flight. You could say, how long is the flight? Okay, that's it. A quick review of some how questions. Please check out more on the Cool English website. Have a great week.
You want to learn English?
Cool English.
Cool.
English, dude. English.